Well, she did it when we signed for our will.
It doesn't say
But
anything.
you did it when we signed our wills.
Chris signed it, y'all.
Yeah, but you were in here.
Screen.
Okay,
I
I'm
don't
seeing,
think we're all the way in yet.
there you go, bring it down.
Their
Barely hear
faces
'em.
are not in.
I can barely hear him.
Should have that screen where they can see their faces.
They need to, yeah. They're gonna have to.
Y'all can speed up a little bit.
Breaker's on spring break. Cause he's calling her. To move this way, they need to see
It's
you
really
before
true.
me.
Yes, it is. You can
What
turn
is it saying at the top?
This meeting is
Can you
being.
bring that camera down just a little bit, please?
Yes, sir.
All right, that's good.
Better?
And a little bit over so I can see when Miss Talbot raises her right hand.
Just turn the
Yeah,
computer.
you've gotta be.
Okay, Miss Talbot, can you raise your right hand, please?
Mm-hmm.
Do you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call should be the truth so help you God?
I do.
All right, Miss Talbot, I'm going to hold up what purports to be the last will and testament of Larry James Talbot. Do you recognize that as being his will?
Uh-huh. Yes.
I'm going to go to the signature page and ask you if that's Mr. Talbot's signature on that document.
It is.
Okay, and to your knowledge, after the date he made this will, which appears to have been on March 23rd of 2020, did he ever change it or revoke it?
No.
Okay, go right ahead, Mr. Talbot.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good morning, Ms. Talbot. How are you?
Okay.
Good, good. So Mr. Talbot, I understand, passed away on or about January 29th of this year, 2024. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Nina has in front of you a proof of death and other facts. Do you have that document in front of you?
No.
Sorry.
She's getting it.
You're familiar with that though, right? We sent you a copy of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we looked at it.
You looked at it and everything in that document is true and correct. Is that right?
As far as I know, yes.
Okay, and then the second document that you're going to sign this morning is your oath, where you and I, we're promising Judge Brannick that we're going to follow the Texas Estates Code, follow all the rules, take care of creditors and beneficiaries, and so you're gonna take care of business of the estate. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay, Judge, that's all I have, unless you need anything further.
Okay, is Nina gonna,
Didn't he?
is she going?
She went to go get the paperwork.
Now?
She's gonna, I believe she's gonna.
Okay.
Nina's still out of the room?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, we'll just let her, all right, so, Ms. Talbot, as soon as you sign those documents and they've been e-filed with the court, I'll sign the order admitting Mr. Talbot's will to probate and authorizing the clerk to issue letters testamentary that will give you authority to act on behalf of the estate. And, Mr. Dowden will guide you through the process. He'll get you letters testamentary. Those letters will give you, the ability to transfer title to real estate, to deal with financial institutions or insurance companies or whatever you need to do, okay?
Okay.
All right, well, I hope y'all have a great day and
Thank you. You
Great
too.
Talk to you later. Have a good day.
Okay.
take care, buddy.
Thank you. I just written it as I
Bye,
go.
Larry.
Y'all have a good one. We'll get
You
it to
too,
you.
Larry. Well, you did good when we signed our will.
Anders and Kelly.
I've never
Okay, so
run the
we're looking
this part.
for-
Larry
So
usually.
Larry's gone. Are we done?
Okay, y'all can go ahead and leave.
Thank you.
Take care. Okay, this is an airship determination.
Doesn't he dress it up? I'm assuming that's dressed up on that. Yeah, I didn't know that. Yeah, I've seen that. Oh, kitty cat. That's a pretty cat.
Good morning, Judge.
Good morning. I'm sitting here trying to figure all this out. Looks like Miss Kelly lost most of her family. Okay, Marks died after Miss Kelly, who was her sister, and she left 3 children. And she left everything in her will to her husband, Victor Marks.
Barbara did.
Right.
Right.
No. Beverly.
Beverly, sorry. Sorry, Judge. Did you have a nice birthday?
It was, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and yesterday were nonstop, all day and all night. Matter of fact, Saturday night, your in-laws and I were there till almost midnight. And I told Sherry I need to go back to work so I can get her some rest.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Good morning, Your Honor.
good morning.
Good morning. I think we're missing one of them, Linda Duggar. I know she was on. She was emailing a bit ago.
Looks like, yeah, Linda
Oh,
Douglas,
there she is.
Brian
Yes, the cat. She
McConnell.
said, yeah, she said she
There's
had the
Mr.
cat.
McConnell.
Yeah.
Mr. McConnell? Okay, I can hear you. Looks like Miss Duggar is signing on. And so,
And then we have our ad litem.
Kristen Malka with you.
Yes. Yes. And then the ad litem we have. So
The court's very familiar with her. I've had to hold her in contempt of court many times.
He's really never done it, but he's wanted to a bunch of times.
Okay. Ms. Duggar, can you hear me?
Yes,
All right. Ms. Duggar, Mr. McConnell, and Ms. Malka, if you'll raise your right hands, please. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this cause shall be the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Yes,
I do.
All
I
right.
do.
All right.
So, right ahead, Ms. Davis.
All right. Thank you very much. I'd like to call Linda Duggar. Ms. Duggar, will you please state your full name for the court records?
Linda Jane Duggar.
All right. And Ms. Duggar, how did you know Sharon K. Kelly, the decedent?
Well, knew her first through work, and then we became close friends.
Okay. And about how long have you known, did you know Ms. Kelly?
Oh, somewhere between 40 and 45 years.
Okay. And during that time, did you become acquainted with Ms. Kelly's family history?
Yes.
And so are you aware of whether Ms. Kelly was married at the time that she passed away?
No, she was not.
Okay. Had she ever been married?
No.
Okay. And were there any children that were born to or adopted by Ms. Kelly?
No.
And did she actually take any children into her home and raise them as her own?
No.
And at the time that Ms. Kelly passed away, do you know whether her parents were living?
They were not.
Okay. And are you aware of whether she had any siblings at the time that she passed away?
Well, her brother Jimmy was already deceased,
Okay.
and her sister Beverly was alive at that time.
Okay. And are you aware of whether, I know you call him Jimmy, is that the James Robert Kelly was his?
Yes. Yes.
Are you aware of whether Jimmy had any descendants, whether he had any children at all?
Not to my knowledge.
Okay. And to your knowledge, are you aware of whether Miss Kelly had a last will and testament at the time she passed?
We had never discussed it, so not to my knowledge.
Okay. And do you have any financial interest in Miss Kelly's estate?
No,
And are you being compensated for your testimony here today?
no.
Your Honor, I pass the witness.
Judge.
Go
Sorry.
right ahead, Ms. Hallmark.
No, I spoke to Miss Duggar at length and she was very helpful. And so I don't, everything that I needed to talk to her about and that I did was consistent with the questions that council has asked. And so I have no questions for either her or Mr. McConnell.
Yeah, court takes notice of your report.
Thank you.
Thank you. I would,
Mr. McConnell.
yes. Mr. McConnell, will you please state your full name for the court records?
Brian Lee McConnell.
And how did you know Miss Kelly, the decedent?
Same as Miss Duggart, we met at work and became friends
Okay.
after that. So
And during the time that you became friends with Miss Kelly, did you become acquainted with her family and marital history?
through the course of conversations, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And are you aware of whether Miss Kelly was married at the time that she passed away?
She was not.
Okay. And is it your understanding that Miss Kelly never had any children that were born to or adopted by her?
That's correct.
And she didn't have any children that she actually took into her home and raised, although I think kind of the report indicates she had children that her students that she kind of called the lost boys or strays that she kind of loved on, correct?
Correct. Correct.
Okay. And is it also your understanding that Miss Kelly's parents were passed away at the time that she died?
Yes, that is
And
correct.
And are you aware of her siblings, that she had a sibling, James Robert Kelly, and a sister, Beverly Marks?
Correct. Yes. Yeah. Jimmy passed away, I think, last year, maybe the year before that, and Beverly passed about a month after Kelly died.
Okay. And to your knowledge, did Miss Kelly have a last will and testament?
We talked about it, at least writing something down, but as far as I know, she didn't have one.
Okay.
As far as I
And
know.
right, I understand. And are you being compensated for your time here today?
No,
And do you have any financial interest in the estate?
no.
Your Honor, I have no further questions for Mr. McConnell. Okay.
Ms. Hallmark?
Yes, sorry, Judge. I just wanted to address the will issue. I talked at length with Miss Valka about that because whenever I spoke to Mr. McConnell, usually if I hear there's any indication of something being written down or that there is a potential that there's something out there, I usually try to work on that to make sure that we've looked. And in speaking with Miss Valka, it's my understanding that the home was in just extreme, horrendous conditions, including animals and just stacks and hordes of paper everywhere. And they did their best to try to locate what they could, even to the extent of almost being physically ill from being in there. And then also it was evident that somebody had broken into the home. The home's in the south end of Beaumont. But they were never able to find a will, but they all did their very best to look for it. And so I feel comfortable in saying and affirming the witnesses that there, even if she had written it down, we can't find it.
Okay. Ms. Davis, I did not notice in the file a death certificate for Beverly Marks. Do you know if you filed one?
Yes, I am pretty sure that we did. I could certainly check with my assistant to make sure if that has not been done. Okay. So Miss You have one.
I don't know if they filed it, Judge, but I specifically requested one, and I'm happy to email this to Melissa if the court would like me to.
Please do.
Yes, sir. Although mine says pending, so I don't know if they ever issued a death certificate.
I don't
Now,
know.
are you looking at the death certificate on Miss Kelly or Miss Marks?
Oh, you were asking for Miss Marks?
Yeah.
I don't have one for her.
Okay, are you asking you're asking one, not for Sharon Kelly, but for Beverly Marks?
So was Ms. Marks' will probated?
It is currently pending in Fort Bend County. I have the cause number, so we have a hearing that we're in about a month or so.
Okay, well, I just like to have a death certificate whenever we're bypassing an heir and going to the next lineage, so.
Yeah, so
Go right
absolutely.
ahead with Ms. Walker.
Right. So actually, yes, Your Honor, just to clarify, since Ms. Marks did survive Ms. Kelly, that portion will be going to Ms. Marks' estate, and then it'll be distributed according to her last will and testament.
Sounds good. If you'll go ahead and question Ms. Walker and get her to talk about her proof of death and other facts.
Yes, absolutely. And Your Honor, I don't know. I know Mr. McConnell is at work, and
Yes, you may be excused, Mr. McConnell, and so may you, Ms. Duggar, if you have something else to do.
Well, no,
Okay, you're welcome to stay on if you would
Right.
like.
McConnell,
Thank
you
you.
get back to work.
Thank you. Happy birthday, Judge.
Thank you.
Yes, yes. All right.
Go right ahead.
Okay, thank you. Will you please state your name for the court record?
Kristen Vikel-Volka.
Okay, and what is your relationship to Sharon Kelly?
She's my aunt,
Okay, and who is your mother?
Beverly Mark.
Okay, and did your aunt die on or about July 25th, 2023 in Beaumont, Jefferson County at the age of 66?
Yes.
And so therefore 4 years have not passed since her death and the filing of your application. Is that correct?
Correct.
And at the time that your aunt passed away, she was a resident of Jefferson County. Is that right? And to the best of your knowledge, did your aunt have a last will and testament?
No.
And you heard the testimony from Mr. McConnell where he said that she had mentioned writing something down. Did you all do your best to look in the home to see if you could find any handwritten will or typed will?
We did.
And did you find anything?
No.
Okay. And is there a need for administration of your aunt's estate to pay bills and to make any necessary distributions?
Yeah.
Okay. And your aunt was not married ever before, is that right?
Correct.
And did she have any children that you were aware of?
Okay.
Okay. And you are asking to appoint you as independent administrator of this estate, is that right?
Yeah.
And all of the heirs, potential heirs of your aunt's estate, which are actually part of your mother's estate, have signed agreements to have you appointed as independent administrator without bond. Is that right?
Yeah.
Your Honor, I do ask that the court take judicial notice of those agreements to have Ms. Baca appointed as administrator. And also they have requested that you have the general authority to sell any property that you can without their consent. Is that right?
Correct.
And are you qualified to serve as independent administrator?
Yes.
Do you know of any reason why you should be disqualified?
No.
Okay. And you are asking that the court waive the appointment of the appraisers?
Yes.
Your Honor.
You read your proof of death and other facts?
Yes, she has those, yes.
Is everything in that document true and correct and within your personal knowledge?
Yes.
All right. So if you and Ms. Duggar and Mr. McConnell will sign your proofs before notaries, get those e-filed back with the county clerk, Ms. Davis. Once I receive those, I'll sign the judgment declaring heirship and the order authorizing independent administration of the estate and authorizing the clerk to issue Ms. Baca letters of administration. Those letters will give you authority to act on behalf of the estate to marshal the assets of the estate and to distribute them in accordance with the terms of the will, or to deal with real estate title companies and teacher retirement system and all that. Make sure that you cooperate with Ms. Davis in doing an inventory or an affidavit. The Texas Estates Code requires one to be filed within 90 days of the date I signed the order appointing you as administrator. So other than that, I hope everything goes well. Ms. Davis, if there's anything else y'all need, feel free to call me. But I hope y'all have a great week, and thank you, Ms. Duggar, for showing up here today.
Sure.
Yes,
And
absolutely. Thank
happy-
you, and
happy birthday.
Yes, happy birthday.
Y'all have a great one.
Uh-huh.
Bye.
All right,
Alright.
Jessica.
Thank
Bye,
you, Jessica.
Judge.
Appreciate it.
Bye. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. Thank you.
Successor.
Vito Angel. I don't know who unlicensed Sharon is. Thought that was her. Yes. So I don't know who unlicensed Sharon is, so we'll find out. Okay. What's your name? We don't have to have it. But they popped out. So just finish. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I got you. I got you.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Del Angel, if you could raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear or affirm the testimony you're about to give in this call shall be the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're here today on an application for appointment of successor dependent administrator and for issuance of letters of successor dependent administrator. And I guess, Ms. Blomstrom, I guess the question I have is that the affidavit of assets has $100 on it in a credit union.
Minus 100.
Minus 100. Yes, it is.
Yes,
You're
sir.
correct. So
Right.
what is the need for further administration of the estate?
Your Honor, we are asking for a successor administration in order to file 4 delinquent accountings and a final accounting to get the case closed. My former client, Ms. Del Angel's mother, Miss Iverson, distributed money. She had a claim against the estate that would have taken a lot of it, but didn't keep it for herself, distributed it. And we need to file those accountings and the final accounting to get
Right.
the estate closed.
I got you. I'm all in on that.
That's the only reason. There's
All
no
right, go
reason.
right ahead with your questions because we would really like to get those filed.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you. Okay. Ms. Del Angel, please state your name for the record.
Kathy Christina Del Angel.
And are you the applicant in this pending application for the appointment of a successor administrator?
Yes, ma'am.
And is it true that your mom, Donna Baird Iverson, previously was appointed and qualified as the dependent administrator of your aunt, Miss Sanders' estate? And during the time of the administration, is it true that your mom passed away on April 10th, 2023?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm sorry. Do you understand that at the time she passed away, she owed 4 accountings and a final accounting to this court in the administration of her sister's estate, Elizabeth Janine Sanders? You understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and you and I've talked about it, and we're going to obtain the records once you get your letters of administration from the Federal Credit Union and produce those accountings and the final accounting so we can get the estate closed and your mother's surety released from further liability with respect to this estate.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay. Now, is there to your understanding, is there an ongoing necessity then for the administration of the Sanders estate?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, are you qualified to serve as a successor dependent administrator?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, and so you are not disqualified by law from serving, are you?
No, I'm not.
Okay, and we have previously filed the affidavit of assets, your sworn affidavit. And is this the extent of the assets not remaining in the estate?
Not remaining in the estate. Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but you understand that once you get your letters, you'll be able to close that account and retrieve and obtain the all the records that we need for the account.
Yes, ma'am. That's correct.
Okay.
All right.
I have no
If you
further
will,
questions.
Make arrangements with Ms. Blomstrom to execute your proofs. I'm gonna set the bond. She'll be able to file $1,000 personal bond.
Thank you, Your Honor.
And the quicker we can get those past due accountings in and the estate closed, the better. So thank you
Yes, Your
for
Honor.
working to that end. And
Thank you, Your
if
Honor.
there's anything you need in the interim, Ms. Blomstrom, if any of the credit unions or anyone give you any trouble with respect to attempting to get records, let me know. I'll be happy to craft an order to require them to produce a document should the necessity arise.
Thank you, Your Honor. I appreciate it. I hope you have a good day. May we be excused?
You may. Y'all have a great week. Take care.